2, and 1. Bing, bing. Here we are. It is the slightly delayed, or very delayed, depending on which time zone you're in. And now we're live. It's the BetaSaaSers meeting. It's the slightly delayed or very delayed, depending on which time zone you're in. Meeting with Rose and Richard and Michael. And Richard, I think, is actually supervising a student, so he may not participate too strongly. Armando is around somewhere. I can see him putting comments on my Agile project management book proposal, which was recently rejected by Prague Prog, and has sort of quenched my fire for writing a book about agile methods for open source projects. But there we go.
Did they give you any good comments?
I should follow up, actually. No, I think they just were like, it's probably not for us. I mean, I imagine, you know, I mean, I can share the book. The book proposal is here, and I put a draft chapter up online. Where's my brain gone? Yeah, I mean, I think they probably thought, oh, this is a bit wishy-washy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, let's have a look here. I mean, I basically had a where's it gone? Was it joining a project? Yeah, this is a long form book. There we go. Oh yeah, and all the edit links. I mean, you know, I've got in my head about the way in which we use all of things. I basically extended our kind of onboarded documents to make it 5,000 words because they said they wanted a 5,000 word thing, actually. And actually, GitHub has just changed it so that you now have to have a space in between these things in order to make them work. But so what I did was I kind of went through extending it, and then I put like a lot of the things these could be a sidebar sections. I've tried to make it kind of completely comprehensive. Anyway, this is a sample chapter, and they just kind of said like, yeah, we're probably not the right publisher. I mean, they probably feel like it's too. I don't know. Well, no, I should follow up. I did not get constructive feedback from them particularly. I mean, I think they're probably more into publishing books by famous people on the famous language, you know, new languages or frameworks that I'm probably not, you know, cool enough for them.
Well, they just haven't discovered you yet.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, they said Casablanca was rejected by, you know, most like 18 studios before it was finally made into a movie. But anyway, there.
Well, you've seen the sidebar at the beginning of chapter 3. There's a little note that Jim Gray wrote to Jim Loris about a rejected paper.
Oh,
and,
yes.
Yeah, and he says, well, all this stuff is in good company, right?
Good company. Yes.
And so resubmit, you know? Yeah,
no, that's true. And Amanda's talking to his MIT press. Yeah, I guess I was kind of like, you know, I really like Prague Prog, and I think they have, you know, they're kind of cool and funky, and it would have been. I mean, I guess I'm sort of conflicted about what's the best way to help people. I mean, you know, there's other things like GitHub have just published actually, and I've got this in the. Well, now I've lost it. Now it's gone. GitHub have published. You know, I've got. You know, I based my book proposal on their the format that Prague Prog asked for. GitHub has actually created this open source guide thing that's like, you know, a lot of what I'm talking about, but then specific to GitHub, and I'm kind of trying to be more general. I mean, and theirs is, I think it's kind of. I guess part of what I'm thinking is, like, if they're, you know, I have in my head, like, I feel like it's like obvious to me how you would run an open source agile project and get involved and do really well out of it. But I noticed that various other people are very unclear, and it's a question.
I don't think it's that obvious.
Right, and so one mechanism for trying to get that across so other people can feel confident about what to do is documentation agile ventures. Another thing is to have a book that kind of like, because some people, I think they kind of almost prefer to have it in a book form before they can kind of really absorb it. I don't know. And then also we're doing this podcast every Monday on what's it called? Agile Book Club. So we're reviewing. Did I tell you about this? We're reviewing this like 50 quick tips on user stories.
I didn't hear about the book club. What's that about?
Yeah, it's a book club we're running on Mondays, and we are working through. So it's a podcast.
Confident Ruby.
Well, no,
of the book?
the mob. We've got the premium mobs. One of them,
Oh, okay.
one of them's working on the Confident Ruby with Avdi Grimm.
Yeah.
The other one's working on Elixir, which I'm very excited about. But on Mondays we do, and this is free and open to anyone to attend. I mean, on the podcast ultimately will be published, and you can just see them in the Agile Book Club channel, and it's mainly Michael and myself and Ashley, somebody from Seattle, and
Cool.
we're working through this book by Gojko Adzik and David Evans, which is 50 quick ideas to improve your user stories. So far we've got up to, like, I think, group stories by impact. So we've done like we've had like 5 episodes so far, and we're following the model of the Ruby Book Club, which is I think reasonably successful ongoing podcast that basically, rather than a podcast where you have guests coming on, you just do like a book club, and then there's readings for each week, and then you meet and you discuss the readings and different perspectives, and yeah.
Could you put the book, the name of the book, in the Slack channel?
I can. I'm putting these. Let me put all of these things in the.
And what time is your podcast?
The podcast we record at 4:30 p.m. UTC on Mondays. And you would be most welcome to join. You would be a wonderful addition if you, come in and listen to see. I mean, you may just say it might make you fall asleep because I'm really boring.
No, it sounds great because I mean, we're constantly having these discussions in class.
Right.
It just, I don't know. It seems so obvious how to write a user story, but I mean, I've got just skews of user stories that make no sense, that aren't written properly. That, I mean, I'm just tearing out my hair.
Sure. Oops, no, I'm just going to put this in the wrong Slack chat. Bonk. How did that get a plus on it so fast? Goodness me.
Yeah. Anyway, could I mention an item?
Please. Yeah. I mean, I've just been kind of rambling on about these things.
No, that's good. My item of the week.
Yes. Let's focus on you, Rose. Go on. Yes.
Yeah, my item of the week is to finally nail down basically what you were just talking about, or part of what you were just talking about, how to do a proper workflow for the student projects. And of course, they're basically, I mean, we could think about them as open source projects because they are on GitHub and they are public, etc., etc.
Yes.
And they're basically, I'm getting a lot of questions on some finer points about where we branch and how we handle the main repo, the forks, all that stuff. So
totally.
I mean, it just seems like there's a lot of different ways you could go about it. I've been reading and listening to the videos from GitHub on their recommendations, but even their recommendations are a little fuzzy sometimes, or a little contradictory. Yeah. So, and I was looking, I downloaded website 1, and I was noticing, for instance, that you have many branches right in the master repo.
Yes.
Okay. And again, students are asking, well, do we put the branches in our forks, in the main repo, just in our local development area? So, we're trying to really nail down one scheme for everyone, rather than have everyone do something a little bit different.
Yes, and that's the interesting thing, that we kind of, in Agile Ventures, we allow different projects to evolve their own schemes that works for them. I don't know if this is what's the word? Just being lazy, but I guess there's an argument for the Agile Ventures which says the Agile method kind of encourages people to experiment and try different things.
Yeah, and I agree. More or less, I've allowed students to do that the last several years, and I've decided that when they're just starting out, maybe that's not such a good idea.
No,
maybe it would be better to nail something down, have it be, this is our protocol, and later on you can experiment, do what you like, but let's have this be the class protocol for handling projects.
Yes, I think that is indeed eminently sensible for the students. And then the good question of like, which is the, I mean, by the way, so we had pretty much over last weekend, it's fallen off now. We had a lot of your students in basically the scrums from last Friday, Saturday, Monday.
Sure. They had that open source assignment.
Right. So they were voting. We did a lot of voting on them with them. They were using our new async voter, and that was interesting. And and so I kind of went through that, as you saw. I kind of gave them like the student on Saturday, I gave them an overview of that process, and
like a child.
Yeah, I don't remember who, but yes, I mean, partly, what the book is supposed to possibly move towards is talking about the pros and cons of the different approaches, and also the documentation that we've got for the Agile Ventures. I mean, again, it's so like this is the version in the book. I mean, we need to do much better at getting everything kind of sort of. But so here, I guess we've got. I got this kind of like working on a project. I've got this one set up about how you manage working through the backlogs. Yeah. Running a project. We've got this one there. Yeah. I mean
I've got students who set up the main repo in GitHub and then create branches right in that repo, and then clone those branches and work on them and push them back, etc. And then I've got other students who are going to their main repo, forking to their own repo, and then checking out a new feature branch and so on. And I'm just trying to come up with, as I said, one procedure. Let's all do it the same way.
I mean, I think those are the two models, and we used to always encourage fork and pull from feature branch, and this was because in the past, if you gave someone push access to your repo on GitHub, then they could basically clobber your master and so on. But so now you can protect the master, and you can restrict being able to push the master to a subset of individuals, some admins. You can also require that changes are made, and so now, like Michael and I work on website 1, we just branch on a single repo, and we still do feature branches and everything, but we stay on the same repo.
I noticed that.
Yeah, and to be honest, I find that much simpler. I would say that this is probably like simpler for students, because the problem is once you start having a fork, then you've got like it's more complex. So if you want to consolidate anything, I would strongly recommend consolidating on this one. And then the interesting question here is about then, like about for a group of students.
How do you
manage the merging into the develop branch or the master branch? And I would say the thing to do there is probably the thing. Almost what if I was running a class with this as students, I kind of want to set them up a repo and ensure that the repo had CI on it and that they couldn't merge into the master without the test passing.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, okay. So CI configuration. Okay. CI.
Yeah. Well, and so for example, if we go into website 1, now what's annoying is that the CI configuration can be a pain in itself, and of course, then if the students don't set it up correctly, and but if we go into the settings in website 1 and we have a look at the branches, then we can see we have protected. So our branches that are in our pipeline are all protected.
Now, how did you do that?
Well, so it's just here. I mean, like any repo that you have control of.
The default branch is okay. This was so puzzling to me. This was one of my questions, because I forked the website 1 project.
Yep.
And I thought I was getting master. And then I found out that no matter what I did, I got develop. So I was confused about that.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's what you want.
Well, this is because we've got another model here. I mean, there's I mean, the simple like there's this feature of whether you decide to fork or not, and there's another one about
what's the I stand for again? I can't remember.
CI, continuous integration.
CI.
Integration.
And yeah, gosh, what's wrong with me? Yeah, continuous integration. I kept on thinking it's some kind of configuration. I'm thinking, no, that's not right. Yeah, continuous integration. Got it. Now,
but then we have, like, you know, the simplicity, and clearly for students, simplicity, they should just have master only and not worry about it. But then you can start having, you know, a series of different pipeline configurations, depending upon what else you're doing and whether you have stuff in production or not. Which we have, because we have all of these. We have 3 separate servers, and so the key thing for having this is that we have, like, so for actually, and I've just set it up. Actually, I've been working. One of the main things I've been working on is setting up. We've got HTTPS coming into play. So this is develop.agileventures.org, and we have staging.agileventures.org. And it's not working. Oh no. That's not good. Ah, I spelled it wrong. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Phew. Gosh, I thought I'd broken everything ever.
No. It's usually something small.
Yeah. And so
okay, staging, okay.
Yeah. And then we also have the production site, which probably won't work.
So when you're talking about continuous integration, though, on website 1, are you talking about manually handling that, or do you have a tool like Travis or something that you're using?
Semaphore. So website 1
Semaphore
happens to use Semaphore, but it could be Travis.
Okay.
And so the continuous integration there basically means that if we push to one of these branches, then the tests run, and if the tests pass, then it will deploy to that server. So that continuous integration doesn't.
Okay, the way my
go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, the way my students are doing it is it's a manual process. They examine the pull request,
right,
and they have to agree that it is in fact, you know, the right thing to do, and their Cucumber and RSpec tests have to pass.
Yes, and go on.
Yeah, but they do it manually. They don't do it via a tool.
No, well, we also have. I mean, I think there's no substitute for the team agreeing that something is to be pulled in. But the danger is, if everybody's working in the same repo, is that something gets accidentally pulled in either before the agreement's taken place, or more importantly, before the tests are passing. I mean, that's the most painful thing. If someone has a load of broken stuff on there. But so the feature that we now have from GitHub that we didn't have before, if I go back to here, is the default branch. We can look at so for example, we've got protected branches. That's the key thing. And here, we require status checks to pass before merging. So here we actually have, if you want to merge these things, then both the code climate and the test coverage and the tests all have to be okay.
Okay. Yeah, the coverage. Boy, I have had no luck with installing coveralls, and I don't know what I'm doing something stupid apparently.
But
I mean, we also have that other kind of coverage that we're using that is documented in the book.
Yeah, there's another one.
Simple Cov.
Yeah. Then you get which works locally. Yeah, which this is supposed to use, and then there is totally room for, actually, with all of these, for the setup to be a real pain. It would be lovely if if these were more fully integrated in GitHub. But yeah, I mean the key thing from the student. I mean, if you can have the CI set up so that basically the tests have to pass before people can merge it, then that kind of gets rid of the worst, the worst problems from having everybody able to push to all of the branches.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons that a lot of the teams were forking first before they did anything was to be kind of extra careful.
Yeah, and in that sense, I mean, it kind of like this setup here is simpler, but it requires
risky
the config. Well, it requires, if the config is set up correctly, then it's not risky. So for Michael and I at the website one, it's fine. I mean, in fact, in terms of reducing risk but increasing complexity, then the fork and pull is perhaps better.
Yeah, I know. Like the undergraduates are doing things really well, just really well. I am terrified of what's going to happen in a few weeks with the graduate students if their first iteration is any indication.
Oh, okay, right. The graduate students seem to be struggling more than the undergraduates.
Oh, well, maybe, I think they think they know more, you know?
Yeah.
But they don't. Well, for instance, they were supposed to create a new Rails application and write up or create a migration and all that stuff, to set up their schema. And I have this one group, they have nothing. After a week, they have nothing. And I'm like, well, what's going on? And well, we can't figure out what's going on with it. We can't get the database to connect. And what are you doing? They wrote like 20 YAML files manually and just shoved them there.
Instead of a database.
Instead of anything else, okay. And I'm like, what are you doing? We went over the commands. We showed you how to do it, manually, piece by piece, create a migration. We showed you how to do it with Rails generate model, and give the various attributes you're interested in and the database types, and have it, set up and apply the migration. They hadn't done any of that.
Right.
And I'm left. It's like, how many times do I have to say this?
No, indeed. I mean, one of the things we had in the we had one of your graduate students, I think, in the thing, and we were trying to get them into Slack, and I'd pasted that person the link into the Hangout chat. Actually, the Hangout chat where they could click on, and rather than clicking on it, they tried to type it out.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's just
kind of like.
Yeah. It's funny. Well, I mean, most of them are foreign, and it's kind of interesting that in certain things they do better than the undergraduates, but other things, like just knowing to click on a link and they're constantly trying to do some manual procedure. And I get the feeling that their experience has been somewhere that has no tools, where they're not learning efficient ways of doing things. It's all kind of scratch it together.
Yeah. People coming from lots of different backgrounds. Yes, indeed. Yes. I mean, it's I mean, we kind of want, I mean, for all of these things, we kind of want, not a straitjacket, but sort of this kind of guided process that will allow them to avoid impaling themselves on the sharp edges.
Exactly. It's the point of using a framework.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, what they constantly try to do is produce a website brute force.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but wait, you're learning this other way of doing it. Why are you doing this?
I mean, I have my boys are using this thing called not Code Climate, sorry, Code Combat.
Code Combat
is not foolproof, but is really, I think it's quite. I'm really impressed about how it's okay. Do I have to? Oh, go on. But it
looks like fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of it's really I mean, it's for learning programming, and but like, for example, here, like if I click on the method, it like gives you the thing, and then it has like hints and so on, and which of course my kids don't read, but you know, and then it has like, you can do like hero dot, and it's just it's got like a lot of support, and it's really it's really nice. I mean, you know, to be honest, I think that the kind of thing that the I mean, I was talking about this. Were you there when I was talking about this last week? I mean, this Elixir bootcamp that we've been working through as part of the Ruby mob, and just it's like step by step, whatever. I mean, I think there are parallel things for that for Rails in Udemy that look like they are kind of the same thing. I think this might be the guy that Armando was complaining about having, like, why has he made so much money and we haven't made any money, kind of thing.
Oh, personal. Yeah.
But I think that these things, they kind of go through, you know, the step. Something like this. I don't know. I mean, there's like how to.
It's like a lot of boring procedures, but you know, the way to do it so that you don't get into trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of step by step on this kind of way through. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the what the solution is really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, if people just sort of don't pay attention and miss the point and go ahead and do their own thing, there's I don't know what the solution for that is.
Well, I mean, it seems to me like I mean, hypothetically, the solution is would be pairing with somebody who sort of knows what they're doing.
Yeah, and part of the problem this semester is I usually pair much more with the ongoing work.
Right.
But I think you know that at week 4 I got these 8 new students.
Yeah, you were saying.
And I've been spending all my time, you know, pairing with them.
Right.
Because you know, we had to do double time. We had to basically do 8 weeks of the course in 4 weeks. So.
Right.
Yeah, and the other students haven't had the supervision that normally they would have. So
the interesting thing, so this Live Coding TV have rebranded themselves as liveedu.tv, and this kind of potentially gives you access to, like, basically loads of other people around the world, like programming on Ruby on Rails and stuff. And it feels like to me, like, if we, I mean, the other thing I'll show you as well is there's this. There's like, we've got like a couple of thousand users in our Slack. There's a Ruby on Rails link. These guys have over 5,000 users in their thing here. And it just seems to me like, you know, like for all of your students, there's no reason in principle why all of your students couldn't be pairing with somebody who was slightly more advanced than them to do this stuff. And that would be, I mean, it would solve Richard's problem of his students just kind of getting the solutions online and submitting them. Actually doing the work with somebody who is just ever so slightly more advanced than you, or maybe even, like you said, on some occasions is behind you. And if that was just sort of available on tap, I feel like that would be the
I mean, even if I had a full-time TA who knew the material, which I don't, but you know, that would be, you know, then we could both spread our efforts, but you know, that's not happening, which is my. I'll give you an example. One of the teams, they were trying to. Well, first of all, I'm trying to, because we're snowed in, do this hangout so that they can deliver their first iteration. And they're trying to, like, do a Skype, and I'm like, no, I want to do a hangout so we can share our screens and run code, etc., etc. And then they try to do a hangout that's not on air, and I'm like, oh, a hangout on air. So they finally start, and they're showing me this website, right?
Oh yeah.
And it's a website developed by Wix.
Oh yeah,
aware of that?
I know Wix.
Yeah, okay. And they're saying, well, this is what we've done so far.
That's very that's very resourceful of them, isn't it?
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, where's your code?
Right.
I said, I don't want to see this. I want to see your cucumber. I want to see your RSpec. I want to see that you've got test steps after your user story. You know, the whole. I mean, we have a procedure. Okay. And And so they show me GitHub, and GitHub has one feature file.
Right.
And I said, well, where's your code? Oh, well, we haven't done that yet, or we can't get to it. We can't get to it.
No, sure.
Well, I wonder why. So, you know, I mean, it's just kind of crazy. But I was thinking, now, how bad a procedure do you think it would be in the case of at least this group, all right, that I'm a little concerned about?
Oh, yeah.
That they fork, you know, from the master, because I think unless I do that, you know, and we don't have any CI tools set up yet. I really have to get into that.
Yeah, I would definitely have them fork and try and create feature branches and do the pull requests from there. Totally.
Yeah. Okay. So would they then create the branch on their GitHub repo and then clone that branch to their
either way around? They can do it. They can create it on their local machine, or they can create it on their GitHub fork and pull it down.
Okay, because that's been a big question too.
Either way, ultimately it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you want to impose one, then I would say just work out which is good. Are they going to find it? Probably the sensible thing to do. I think it's probably going to be easier for them to do it through the web interface, because in the web interface, right, you can do a thing. Basically, they can type the name of a branch in here, and then like blah, and then it will basically they click the blue button and it creates it. On the command line, they would need to do something like
-b, blah, blah, and
which is, I mean, you know, gosh, that strange incantation, you know. So it would be nice to think that you could show them both and have them understand that they led to the same thing but happening on a different computer, and then you can have them, you know. Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if they got that concept? Yeah. I mean, what I was going to say is that John Rafrano, who was also a mentor for the Mentive mentors.
I remember you mentioned him.
Yeah, and he has this thing that he teaches a course in DevOps at some kind of university in New York, and he's not so far away from you. He shared with me the material. Go on, say again.
Oh, he sent you the material?
He did send me. He sent me some materials, and I think with the idea that I could use it to try and improve what we have in the Mookie thing. I now can't immediately. I've got what's this? Social coding with GitHub. What's this? Oh, I think this is. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, well, this is I think slides from one of the. Yeah, this is his course.
Oh yeah, right. And then there's so much good stuff out there.
And so like he talks with, and then he talks to GitHub principles, and he kind of, I think, so that here you go. Look, workflow.
Yeah.
Branching, pull requests. This all this stuff. Yeah. So which is, and then kind of like, and then forking. Yeah. There you go. Look.
Can I get that?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's nice to have it all in one place. A lot of the stuff on GitHub, it's like in pieces here and there.
Yeah, I will just, hi, John. Hope you're well. Can I share that social coding thing? I'll just check with. I'm almost certain it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other thing,
where's he at?
I'm just going to check, because I think he has got, like, there's a link to his course page, which may even just have all of them for download on there.
Right.
Oh, here we go.
What school is he at?
It's a cs.nyu. Is New York University? Oh. Is that a university?
NYU. Yeah. Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that exist? I have no idea. It's all, you know, American
to me.
City.
It's in New York.
It's in New York, right? We have a town called York, you know, here in the UK.
Yeah, well, of course. How did we get
you have a new one? You have a new one. Well, didn't it used to be called
how do you think we got that?
It used to be called New Amsterdam, didn't it? It was.
Yes.
I mean, you
know,
know,
actually, it was an ancestor of my ex-husband's that named New York, and was the first governor of New York.
Oh, cool. Here we have the link to the course. which I will share in the places that I'm sharing.
Yeah.
Where's it gone? Where's it gone? BetaSaaSers. Yes, there we go. Yeah, he doesn't have as much. I was sort of thinking. I mean, and then there's him on GitHub. That's him on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But he's great, and
yeah,
it would just be nice if you could kind of jump. Oh, is that? I guess this is the. Oh, he's probably running it at the moment.
Yeah.
There. Yeah. And then so.
Super.
Did he have like a DevOps? I thought I just saw like a DevOps. Anyway, I should probably go and check what's happening about supper with my family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How's Richard doing?
I guess he's still interacting with his student, maybe.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. By the way, I know this isn't a BetaSaaSers thing, but when I forked website 1 and downloaded it, and the whole 9 yards, installation, blah blah blah.
Sure.
I'm getting like it won't run. It has all these errors.
Yeah, there's a. If you read the getting set up documentation, it should be telling you to ask me for an N environment file, which I can.
For an environment file. Okay, I started reading through it, but I didn't get through the whole thing.
Yeah, so there's like basically relating to the question that Armando's asking, which is how to test Stripe properly. Boom. Yes, you need test keys for the all the Stripe stuff, which I can give you.
Okay.
And I will put in Slack. There should be.
Armando was asking about how to test Stripe properly.
Yeah, in the website 2 channel for some reason. I don't know why he's doing it in the website 2 channel.
Yeah.
But he says he's trying to deal with Phantom JS and stuff. I don't know. You can read it. Read his. You can read it in the Phantom there. I'm starting to run down.
Yeah. You need to eat.
I need to go and do other things. I will just So Rose, I'm going to send you the. There should be documentation. I may be wrong in the setup thing, step by step, saying ask for this and then you should.
It's a little bit fuzzy.
Where to put it? Yeah, I mean we've
the documentation is kind of. I don't know. I some of it I get, and some of it I'm not sure.
Sure. Yeah. We've had some more pull requests on it recently that has hopefully improving it. But yes. Anyway, I put that in your personal Slack there.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Cool.
Thanks.
All right. Well, I'm gonna nip off then. I guess we sort of got to a. No. What's happened to the? Oh, there we go. Yeah. We were sort of saying to resolve your issue, Rose, is like have the students do this forking and pulling, and as the best way to go forward.
But or at least the grad students, the undergrads are just doing great. So
yeah. Oh, good. That's good to hear. Excellent. All right. Well, I hope that the snow
can
gets
do it all
your
man line and everything. So
I hope the snow gets cleared off your drive sooner rather than later. And
I got to go to the grocery store. I'm going to go nuts if I can't. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Okay.
Bye for now.
Yeah, you too. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye for now.